like the third time this has popped up, but I think we've got it this time. All right. Little inside information here. I'm trying to give you this shot of the screen. All right. And everything else. And if we get a good fish on, can I do this here without? Well, good luck to me on that one. But we're a little bit early. I just wanted to make sure this was all good. I think it is. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your. Welcome to live. Yeah, okay, what am I going to do that? I've done several of these lives now, and every time it's like a brand new world. I guess, well, we've got 11 people out there already. 26, good deal. Hey, to test this chat out, there we go. I was going to say something. Good morning, Terry. Morning, Ernie. Morning, Ryan. Where are you guys all from? All right, put that morning from Lake City. Jason, good morning. Minocqua, Wisconsin. Pete, this is going pretty good here. So evidently we're on. It's going to be interesting to see how this works here. I've got the phone, which I'm doing this with, up on a holder, and if we thought you dropped your phone. No, I got it going once about 10 minutes ago just to make sure it started recording. Well, I wasn't ready, so I stopped that one. You probably saw that one for a second. Then I think there was another one, but I am pretty sure we're good to go here. Kurt Quinnell is my name. Hi, everybody. I'm from Lake of the Woods. I live right across the road from Long Point Resort, from Eveleth, Minnesota, or Eleveth as they say, and fertile St. Louis, Missouri, and Le Sueur, Minnesota. Heck, we're from all over here this morning. Appreciate it. I'm on Lake of the Woods. I fish Lake of the Woods exclusively year-round. Swift Ditch. Well, that's from Alma, Wisconsin. Okay, there we go. Thanks, Brian. And while we're talking, I've got messages popping up on the phone right here, and you can't see those, but I can. That's the thing about these lives. If you've got a question about Lake of the Woods, you can ask it now. I'll keep watching this, and hopefully I get to answer your questions. Today, it's very warm. I think it's 30 degrees already. It was 30 some degrees yesterday, and it never got very cold overnight. But today, it's going to be windy. Wind's howling probably 15 or better right now. Just got home from a week out of Swift. Can't say that it went very well, but that's Lake of the Woods. That's something we're going to talk about. Now, I get all these questions thrown at me. I try to stay on topic. I try to keep the train on the tracks, all right? But I wind up jumping all over the place. I'm going to talk about the weather, first of all. It's very warm today, but it's going to be windy. It's going to be 40-mile-an-hour winds this afternoon, overnight, and I think that they kind of peter out tonight, and then tomorrow it starts to get cold. It's going to be 17 below zero Saturday night. Starts warming up again Sunday, so up and down, and that's the way it goes here in the wintertime in February. Morning, Kurt. I'll be at Long Point on Wednesday. Looking forward to the trip. Save some fish. Oh, I don't know. Here, can I show you this? If you were watching on Facebook, you already know this, but this is my first fish this morning. I had lines in the water at like 7:18 or so. At 7:24, this one bit. Nice 18-incher. I thought, wow. And then I had some other fish going. And for the last 10 minutes, I've had a big pike rolling in here and rolling out of here. But see, I'm getting all over on the topics now. Come on back, buddies. There we go. Appreciate y'all being here. Again, if you've got a question, answer the question. I just went, there we go. So we're going to fish for an hour here. You and me. And with 77 people watching, you think I could run more than 2 lines, but I can run 2 lines. Clark, yeah, good morning. Appreciate that. Fins, Feather, and Bone from Badette is here. Good morning to you. How big was that decent walleye this morning? It's 18 inches. All right. I might have to abandon my weather thing, but by next week on Monday, it's going to straighten out, mild temperatures again, but a cold Saturday coming up and a windy day today. Talked to a guy last night who was coming up, and he was going to be in a portable today. And I said, well, get set up early. It's tolerable now. At 40, it'd be a hard time setting up a portable, but hey, man, I fished out of a portable for a long time. We fished in big wind in a portable. You just get set up. Notch from Pollock, South Dakota is here again. One of the cooler names you're going to find, Notch. All right. So good morning to you. You get set up. You got to be careful. I'll tell my fish house story next. There's not very much ice for the third winter in a row. We have a bare minimum of snow out here. Third winter in a row. 2 years ago, there was no snow. Last year, there was a little bit of snow. This year, there's a little bit more snow, but still bare bones. There's enough, but just enough. So you're going to wind up with some bare ice spots out there, and that's slippery. Now I'm going to jump right over to my fish house story. I think I've talked about the weather enough. We can do that more if you want to. 95 people out there already, boy. Season, people wouldn't be too interested in what's going on up here anymore, but I see that you are. I appreciate that. My blue house. I set it up in my hot spot, best spot I ever fished. Fished there for a month, all right? And every time the wind blew, I got a big snow drift around the house. And I didn't want to freeze it down. I think you got to move these houses every once in a while. But I said, I'm not going to move it far. I'm just going to get it out of the hole that it's in here. So it was a nice warm day. And those warm days are worth days are, and I'll tell you why. Because I think, well, I'm lazy if I don't move on these days. So I had a great spot. Well, all right, a good spot where my house was. I just shoveled around, jacked it up, and pulled it 60 feet away. Here's that. Can you see it? That fish is right there again. Come on, buddy. And that's a big fish. I don't know if it's the same one, but it's a pike. I'm pretty sure it's a pike. And he roams around. He comes up and looks at the baits, and then he goes. All right, so I pulled the house, moved it 60 feet, 2 boat lengths. All right, 3 boat lengths away. Set up, and it was terrible. It was bad fishing. So I said, well, I got to give it another day. So another day, same thing. Third day, same thing. And then it got a little nicer again. So I pulled my silver house and I went back out to Lem's Reef, 3 miles out, and I fished there all week. I just left this house. So yesterday was warming up pretty good in the afternoon. So I said, well, all right, I'm going to pull the blue house kind of back to right next to where it was before. I did that yesterday. Drilled the holes out last night, yesterday afternoon, because I knew that it wasn't going to get cold overnight. The holes were nice and open this morning. It was fine. And I pulled in here this morning, and at 7:18, I've got lines in the water because I'm close enough to shore. Didn't take long to set up. It was great. Boom. Stick that big walleye right away. Had another sauger right after that, and another sauger right after that. And I thought, well, this is going to be great. It was. I had 4 fish before 7:35 this morning. There's still fish around here, but for the last half hour, I've been more monkeying with trying to get this going. Did this thing lock up on me or what? Okay, there we go. Heading up this afternoon. Not sure what access yet. Looking forward to it. The guys have been plowing this week. It's been kind of windy. The roads are plowing over. But you go out of one of the good access points here, and you're fine. Morning, Dave. I was in a portable Tuesday out there with 30-mile-an-hour wind. See, I felt sorry for all those guys in portables, but man, I did it. I did it for a long time. It's fine. Once you get set up, it's good. So I have never tried to set up a hub in windy weather. I think would be tougher. But again, you get it done, you get up, and you're fishing. So those portables are an amazing thing. They did more for the advancement of ice fishing, I think almost anything else has ever been done. The fact that you can move around. Now, with my permanent houses, I could move them around, but I don't. I'm old. And I really believe in the areas that I'm fishing. Come on up. Right there. He pops up off the bottom and looks. So on a warm day, this is why I said the warm days are almost worse for me, because I figure, well, if I don't move now, I'm lazy. So I'll move the silver house, or I'll move this house and move around. Ratchet strap or use the winch on the ATV, UTV when it gets really windy and a hub outside. I don't think that I realized that, when I was doing it in those days. But yeah, leave it hooked up to whatever you brought it out. And I'm sure I did that with my Ranger, leaving it on there. But I figure once I get my big butt sat down on the seat, it shouldn't go away. But I have taken a ride or two on a portable. Someone else in here now. To a hub in the wind, I tie the line to the trailer hitch in the truck. Well, it keeps it from blowing away, yep. Hey, Brian, thanks. 120 people. I hope you can see this. That fish is going back and forth, and that's a substantial fish right there. I'm not jumping around too much. These pike, we were catching a lot of pike earlier this year. Suddenly caught nothing for a while. Now the pike that are showing up, and they're showing up more, they're lethargic. All right. We can see it. Good. All right. Good. Appreciate that. I sat there, I looked at stuff, and I said, how can we do all this? Plus, if I get a fish, I'm down here, so I won't knock the camera over and drop the phone down the hole, which is my ultimate goal of things to avoid. Good. I appreciate that. And I appreciate y'all being here. 118 people so far from, heck, all over the place. All right. I'm going to talk about tulibies next. I had a big long list of things I'm going to talk about. I'm almost through the list already. So if you have questions, tulibee haven out there at Long Point. Well, I have Long Point for sure, but I think probably everywhere. Is it worth the high price for the blinking lights? Been catching walleyes for 40 years without them. Well, then I'd say, well, then don't do it. I caught walleyes for a long time without it. I use them all the time now. I use them summer and winter, every day. Earlier this year, that week I just took them all off. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, blinking lights. Can I show you one? Okay, I can show you one. Would you recommend for jig colors this time of the year? Man, I'm going to tell you something. I don't think really that jig color matters. How about that for a radical statement? All right, here's the blinking light lure. All right. Got it upside down. Here's the blinking light lure. I tie a little dropper to it down to a clip. You put your jig on here, your hook on here, your jigging spoon, whatever you want on here. Let's see if I can get this going. Oh, this one probably doesn't work. That's why it's loose in here. Let me get another one out for you. You absolutely can catch fish without using a blinking light. Okay, this is good. Without using a blinking light lure, okay? There's the blinking light lure. This one blinks red and green. See that? All right, and oop. Which line are you on, buddy? He's swimming around. He was, almost lost the rod down the hole. He was headed that way. Okay, well, my attention's going to be a little divided here. Here's the blinking light lure in action right there. It is. Drop her down to my pink tungsten jig and a live chub minnow. I'm going to call them chubs. They might be fatheads. They might be something else, but they're hot chubs. They're minnows. They're not anything fancy. Well, what was going on there? That fish grabbed onto something. You don't have to use a blinking light lure. I would say might be better if you do. It might not, but you don't need to use a depth finder. You don't need to use plain hook. I mean, there's all kinds of, there's 100 million different ways that you can fish out. Well, here's the other blinking light. Let me show you this. Blinking light lure. Right down below that, I've got that Lindy flyer with the minnow head, and there's my piece of gulped earthworm. I used to call them red worms, but they keep changing what they are on me. This is a red wiggler. It's just a little piece of rubber that holds that minnow head on the hook. Whoa. Well, come on, bite then. Let's catch one for the kids at home, huh? Come on, buddy. Here he comes. He's there. Son of a gun. And a blinking light can't catch fish for you if you're stupid. It can't catch a fish that's biting you. I've liked the blinking lights. Bait stores can't keep them in stock. All right. Nope. What colors? Oh, I told you, any color. I use pink, I use orange, I use yellow or chartreuse. Been up here with my fiance since January 12th. We look forward to your videos. Oh, booking a summer guided trip with me. Woohoo! Thank you, Tally. Here's kind of a news announcement that no one really care about but me. You need to pay attention to task at hand. This is my task at hand right now, by the way. I think that there's a bait on this one. Right? Did I bait it? Yeah, I showed you that one. That's got bait on it. And this one's got bait on it. So I should be good. And that rod was going for the hole. It was going for the hole. You have a mid-March fishing out of Arneson's. How is fishing at that time usually? Oh, thanks. They say I got to fish now. Thank you from Decorah, Iowa. These things are going away on me. I don't like it. Yeah, come on back, fish. Keep your comments coming. I'll stay with them as good as I can. Fishing in mid-March ought to be just fine. It ought to be better than it is now. Remember this. From February 10th to March 10th is the worst fishing of the winter. That doesn't mean it's bad. It's every time else is better than that. But you can still get on fish. You can still catch fish. Fish are still around, but they are. It's the worst time to fish. Now I get into March, I think. All right. Now I'm not a scientist. A lot of things people tell me, I say, well, that's a crock. You know, someone just told them that and they believed it. And this is kind of where this comes from. The temperatures start to warm up. And when the temperature starts to warm up, the snow kind of disappears from the ice. Warmer water gets down through the ice, starts warming things up. Things start going. Now, April is a little better than March would be. And you can still fish here till April, well, middle of April anyway. Hi from Holly. Hey, Terry. Hold on to your hat today. Yeah, it's going to be windy. So I've been fishing 5 days a week since the ice showed up here. At least short days, most of them. All right. The wife and I are fishing at Dale's, just west of you. Little guys so far having a blast, celebrating our anniversary. Hey, happy anniversary to you. But fishing is fun. I'm glad they've had a couple of people say we're catching a bunch of little fish this morning. Since the beginning, since back in December, man, fishing has been, I got caught more fish already this winter than I normally would have, but there were so many little ones at the beginning. And I've got some theories on that. Someone wants to know this. Thoughts on the DNR lowering the limit? Yeah. Oh, all right. Jared's 100 yards to the west of me. Hey, guys. Can we come over and say hi before you leave? Oh, come over. Oh, I will. I'll do that. Where was the fire last night? I don't know. I didn't hear about any fire last night. I'm not the news guy anymore. DNR lowering the limit. Hey, if they think the limits have to be lowered, that's fine. If you are from up here. Here's one. Come on, man. Come on. The limit on Lake of the Woods is different. The big lakes. Come on, bite it. You're there. What? Oh, come on, man. Limits are different all over the state, and they have been for a long time. Limit on Lake of the Woods, well, they say limit statewide, I think it was 6, right? Some of the lakes, it was 4. Here, it was 4 walleyes, but you could have a couple of saugers. So, it's fine. Whatever the limit is what the limit is. I haven't got any science. I think there's plenty of fish. I don't know why they'd be lowering the limit, but that doesn't matter. If they lowered the limit, that'd be fine. I wouldn't complain about it. I would adjust my... It's easier to say you limit it out when you caught 4, you know, than it is when you catch 6. I don't know where the fire was last night. Huh. We talk about blinking lights. I think we did. To wrap that up, use them or don't use them. It doesn't matter. I took them off for a week and I caught fish for that week. And I caught fish before we started using them. But when we first started using them, whoo-hoo, that was really good. Bounce that jig off the bottom a couple of times. Stir up that mud. And what'd you have for breakfast? I have the same thing on. I have the same thing for breakfast every day now. Not 12 pieces of toast anymore either. 1 egg, 1 sausage on a English muffin kind of thing. That's breakfast. Hi, Kurt, from Kurt. I figured that, yeah. The blinking light lures. If there's a lot of things you can put on, I recommend a blinking light lure, but do what you want. Oh, someone said, bounce that jig off the bottom a couple of times, stir up that mud, you'll pull them in. Here we go. That's something someone's grandpa told him 100 years ago, and his grandpa told him that 100 years before that, and that's science. I'll tell you what, I never dropped that jig into the mud. Almost never. See, both my lines are right there. There, this one's up 2 feet. This one's up about 1 foot. And if I tried to drop it to the bottom, I haven't got enough line even to do that. Now, it's not a bad thing to do. And once in a while, if it's slow, I'll do that just for that very reason. But when I got my helix and started using the lineal display on the depth finder, okay, I wanted to jig up higher so I can see what the fish are doing. If I put this right on the bottom, heck, a fish could come in and bite, you'd never see it. But up here, you see the fish coming across, and you see him come up. Like here comes one right now. Right there, let's see what he does. If they're gonna bite, they'll come up. Look at this guy coming up. He is coming right up to my bait. He is right on. So I'm up, I got him up, heck, 3 feet now, and there he is. And he came through on the bottom. It's not, according to me, so take it for what it's worth and do whatever you want. But if the fish are coming in, and they do move around out here a lot, it's not like you have to attract them. They're coming through, okay? And they'll come right up to your bait. They'll shoot. I could have it 5 feet off the bottom, and those fish will come on up. We're going to talk about that when we get to Tulibies here. Hey, Mark from the Hunt Club says hi. Hey, Mark. Hey, Emmett. Good morning to you. Ooh, any advice for finding a spot for someone coming to the wheelhouse using long point access tomorrow? Good. I'm glad you asked that question. Look it, man. Everybody who plows roads out here also plows access fingers off of their road for wheelhouses. If you bring a wheelhouse here to Long Point, you will have no problem at all finding a way to get off the road, back your wheelhouse off, get off the road, and get them going. So, yeah, and I understand why if you're going to pull your house all the way up here, you got to think, oh God, what if there's no place to fish? There's place to fish, hundreds. And when you stop at the front gate, pay to use the access, where is a good place to go? And they'll tell you. They'll tell you, well, go north, go up this way. Go, we've got a new road over here. And every road has got access points off. Now, if you haven't been here, yeah, how would you know that? And I don't think of anybody who doesn't do that. 165 people out there. This is a good. Are you in the same spot where you were a few days ago when you caught the tulibies and the walleye slot? No, that was I was out on Lems then. All right, that's a reef 3 miles offshore here at Long Point, and there's a road. Well, there was a road. It blew in pretty good with all this wind, and I don't know that it'll be plowed by the weekend or not because it's blowing like crazy. If they'd have plowed it yesterday, it would have been locked in again today. But you don't have to worry about the road you'd see when you got out there far enough that if you can get, or you could ask when you get here, is the road to Lem still open? There was 3 wheelhouses out there that were brought out there by trucks. There was a nice road plowed all the way out there, but it blew in. And everything blew in this week, so they've been plowing and snow blowing and doing all kinds of stuff. You guys been watching better than me. Have I had fish come that would have took my baits? 9:23. Hey, good morning, everyone. If you're just joining in here, I'm Kurt Quinnell from the NCOR Guide Service on Lake of the Woods. I don't guide in the winter anymore. And I would say the next couple of years, I might be done guiding altogether. But we'll talk about that. What's your favorite jig to use this time of the year? I usually have success. The pink glow stop sign. You know, and I love the stop sign jigs. If I'm not mistaken, I think the stop sign jigs are a Lake of the Woods invention. I think Tom's Tackle up here invented that. And I've got one, maybe 2. And I got to tell you, I don't know that I've ever even had it on. But like I said, there's a million different things to use. Now, just between you and me, okay? I think a jigging spoon is a jigging spoon. Okay? I use these Lindy Flyers. I use Clam Pro Tackle drop jigs. Keep up the videos, all right? Stopped by our rental. Great enthusiasm for a guy who loves to fish and help other folks. I like to do that, even on a day when fishing might not be too good. If I get out here, if I could shoot some video and maybe give someone a tip that's going to help them, I like to do that. When's the last time you fished down by the cities? Ooh. A long time ago. I fish Lake of the Woods only now. For a while, well, maybe I could shorten this story. For a while, I was in Thief River Falls, and Thief River Falls is 90 miles away from Detroit Lakes, 90 miles away from Bemidji, and 90 miles away from War Road. So when you're in Thief River, you're an hour and a half away from great fishing all over the place. And we'd run down to Detroit Lakes, hear about something, run down and try to figure something out in a day or in an afternoon. And we'd go to Bemidji, big pike over to Bemidji. You'd run over there and there's too much going on over there to try to figure it out. Finally, I had decided that Lake of the Woods had the most to offer. I said, I should just, if it's all the same, I'll just fish Lake of the Woods, try to figure out something that I can use year round or, so I can fish it year round. And that's what I did. I did that 30 years ago. What is that? Oh, found by the cities. Okay. Why didn't you go back to Lems? Well, I left the Silver House out at Lems. I said I was out there, and after you're in the water for 15 minutes at Lems, tulibies, gotcha. There was 1,000 tulibies around the rest of the day. I was catching 7, 8, 9 tulibies a day. I've caught more tulibies this winter, many more than I've ever caught all totaled since I started fishing. Tulibies are crazy this year. They are all over, and it's great during the slow time. You got those tulibies. But I'm going back out to Lems next week. But it was warm. Here we go. So I didn't want to be lazy. So I came in here, moved the blue house, set it up, and I said it's going to be windy tomorrow. I don't want to go all the way back out to limbs. So I'll move the blue house, drill out the holes, and fish it tomorrow and do a live. That's why I'm not out at limbs today. I'm going to go back out there. We were out at limbs last year. I don't fish limbs usually, all right? Because I don't fish around rocks usually. But last year we got him pretty good, but I'm pretty sure it was in March. He was later than this. Marking nonstop fish over on the west side this morning. Only had one taker so far. Pressure rising. Well, all right, Lems Road is wide open. What? They did plow it yesterday. You know, these guys at Long Point, and I talk about them good a lot because they're professionals. They have been doing this for a long time. They don't get real excited about much. But I tell you, if it needs to be done, come on up. Got him. I think this is that pike. Or, I think it's a nice walleye. He's not running. Got my other line, though, of course. Oh, man. Nice walleye. Come on, buddy. Here we go. Shows you what I know about anything. Look at this guy, huh? Look at this guy. Beautiful. Nice big, I'm going to say 20 inch walleye on a live. Man, do I ever appreciate this guy. I'm going to measure him here. And it is 20 incher. Oh, man. Look at this. Look at this wonderful fish. Thank you for playing, buddy. Ha ha ha. I'm alive. Okay. Well, now I'll really not make much sense for a while here. Oh, that line was tangled, but it's not anymore. So maybe that pike that's been hanging around here for the last half hour wasn't a pike after all. What do you got going here? Another one? So, there, that's entertainment, huh? Okay, I mean, that was on at the spoon, all right, and the blinking light. That was a great question, by the way. I didn't mean to diss anybody when you asked if the blinking lights are worth all the hype. If you could possibly go out and catch a fish without a blinking light, yeah, you can use anything you want. And I really think, thanks to my friend Mark's wife, Lene, who's also my friend, by the way, she started using these blinking lights. She's the first person I really know that had them 3 years, maybe 4 years ago now. And she had one from somewhere and put it on, and crap, she's catching like crazy. So Mark put one on, then he told me about it, and we had a friend that was making some. So we got a few more and started using. We never went back. What is the slot? Okay, Jared, walleyes from 19.5 inches to 28 28 inches have to go back right away. If the tail touches 19.5, that's too big. How do you like that Explore unit, or just the live sonar in general? I imagine it's helpful for a Lake of the Woods. Well, we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. I missed a lot, but I think it's mostly just people happy for me that I caught a fish. Out on bowstring. Woohoo! We used to go to bowstring. Whoop! Another one? Come on, man. You still see this? There he is, right there. Come on. Oh. Did I put bait on this one? This is not a bad fish either. Come on, a bite. Oh, he's right on it. I'm shaking. It's just right there. Hi. You were watching. Did I put a bait on here? What's the best brand for the lights to purchase? Okay, well, I've got to look at this. I'm sorry. Did I put this bait down there without anything on it? Nope. Okay, everything's still there. No, my red worm isn't on there. I can maybe do two things at once here. The blinking lights that you buy on Amazon, first of all, there's a couple of different kinds. One shines really bright, but I've noticed that they don't last very long. I can show you. I've got that one out that I showed you, the one that blinked the many different colors. That's really as nice one as I found, but they don't last. The other ones don't blink as bright, and maybe they don't blink, but they seem like they last quite a bit. 202 people out there. Hey, I appreciate you coming along this morning. What depth are I? Okay. There was, but I just didn't have the red worm on there. Wow. Yeah, caught a fish. Okay, we've got a lot of questions here now. Picked up a Garmin Live Scope last year. Awesome advantage for fishing up there. The best brand for the blinking lights. Let me show you this one. Here's one brand that you buy on Amazon. It's got split rings, top and bottom. Okay. This one, I think this one broke. It doesn't blink at all anymore. But this one blinks for quite a while. And here's the other one that I showed you before. This one really blinks bright. But these, I've noticed, don't last near as long as the others. So, there you go. You've seen the shape of them. And, gosh darn it. Come on, buddy. They're right on the bait. And you know what I haven't had in here this morning? He's there. Oh, no. On a jigging spoon. How do they not have that, huh? There he goes, back to the bottom. Well, check this bait again. All right, when you put the red worm on that bait, it's pretty good because the fish just can't steal the bait off there pretty easy. So the minnow head's still on there, all right? Everything's good, but you have to check or it's gone. How many fish have you caught? Emmett says. A lot. You know, the people that say, oh, yeah, we were up there, we caught 300 fish this weekend. Well, I can tell you if they caught 300 fish that weekend, 280 of them were 12-inch saugers. Okay? So you really pile up big numbers of fish in a hurry. What? That was 196 people watching. I've lost some. Well, probably because my train of thought is so far gone. Stupid fish is coming back again. Hey, man, listen, I've got questions to answer here. Okay. See what's going on. Might come on and join me next week. Coming up Friday morning. Never fished that area of the lake. Thought we'd give it a go. Long Point is a very good area of the lake. Well, all of the areas of the lake are great areas of the lake, first of all, right? There's no place around here where fishing sucks all the time. But Long Point gives you a lot of variety, and some variety you don't get anywhere else, and it's all close in. It's close to shore. Like I said, the furthest you go away is out to Lems, which is 3 miles out. The road is, I think it's 4 miles by road getting out there. When is the boom cycle for the 12-inch sauger walleye? What? When is the boom cycle for the 12-inch sauger walleyes? Oh, I see what you mean. Well, there's always a ton of 12-inch saugers. Always. So when a sauger is, when a walleye is 5 years old, it's 15 inches long. Okay? When a sauger is 5 years old, I think they're like 13 or 14 inches long. So you look ahead for all these saugers, if we don't catch them all, which no way we could ever do, unless you drug them out of here in a net. So add 5 years to what we got now, and you're going to have a lot of 7 to 8 inch saugers, 8-year-old saugers, and they ought to be about as big as saugers get. There's some nice saugers around too. I used to use that whole trap thing. My I knew I'd get in trouble for this. My Grandpa Jimmy's ice hold trap. I love it. I pulled in here yesterday. I do stupid things all the time. To use my ice hold trap, I've got to drill the holes right next to the. Do I dare do this? No, I can't. I've got to drill holes close to the sideboard because, and of course I didn't. I drilled them out in the middle, and I think that I would need to re-drill my holes if I was going to use my ice hole trap. Now, I've seen it before, and if you haven't, it's a contraption. Once the fish is in the hole, a little flipper comes up below the fish, and it keeps them from if they get off the hook, they can't just shoot right back down the hole. Crappie fishermen invented this thing because it kills crappie fishermen to have a crappie get off in the hole and get away. That's where it came from, but it works great up here on Lake of the Woods walleyes. I love my ice hole traps. I use them all the time, but the last few weeks, with fishing being weird and everything going off, I'm not staying on track with what I usually do. Do you know Ed Sable? Yeah, I know Ed Sable. I don't think we hang out much, but I know him. I've talked to him many times. Let's go to, okay. He's my grandpa. Okay, Grandpa Ed. I'm 30 feet here, 31 feet. The hot spot's usually 30, sometimes 29, sometimes 31. For the middle of the winter time, it's kind of funny. There's a lot of water out and another fish coming up. I want to talk about forward-facing sonar, okay? And I don't do controversy at all. I'm not going to argue with someone if there should be or shouldn't be, but this is forward-facing sonar. I'm not forward-facing anything. I'm shooting straight down. I use this in the summertime, and I don't forward-face it in the summertime either. Most of the people, I saw this statistic, 95% of the people don't use it properly, and I'm one of them. Okay, is this Lake of the Woods? Yes, absolutely, this is Lake of the Woods. Thank you for asking that. I should have been saying it steady since the beginning. Long Point Resort, Lake of the Woods, on 30 feet of water, the NCOR guide service. That's me. I'm Kurt Quinnell. That's what's going on here. Now, this, a story I've told before. When I first saw someone using a Helix depth finder, everything had a flasher, but a Helix had a screen like this, and you could see the fish coming by. So that was great. As soon as I saw that, I said, I'm getting one of these. I saw Brian Brosdahl was shooting a video with his 5-inch little tiny screen Helix 5, and I said, oh my God, the world has just changed. So I did that right away, and I used Helixes. I got a little bigger one, and we got some in the boat, and then they came out with the Mega Live. The Live Scope, I'll tell you, Garmin came out with Live Scope first. And they did a great job marketing it, and I don't know why everyone waited so long. I think Vexilar is even coming out with some live sonar. Can you believe that? They're very late on the gravy train. But I'm a Humminbird guy, so when Humminbird came out with, I could avoid it if it was just Garmin, because I said I'm not going to get a Garmin. And I've seen them work, and this is all pretty cool. But then Humminbird came out with one and says, okay, now we're going to do it. This is, you can see this, right? Someone said you could. Here's my bait right here. This is the bait in my right hand. This is going up and down. There's a fish there too. And this is the one in my left hand, going up and down. Now, I don't know how they do it. That transducer thing is in that hole over there, straight down. But the picture I get is like from the side, okay? Wow. And I can see 15 feet that way, 15 feet that way. So if the fish is coming, you see him coming. Come on, but even if you're little, it'll take it. They're tentative. They're around, but they're tentative, but no toolabies. So anyway, this is a great tool. This is like the Helix, like the Flasher was the greatest thing you ever saw in your life, and it changed everything, all right? Then the Helix came along which was the greatest thing I ever saw in my life, and it changed everything. And now this came along. It is the greatest thing I've ever seen, and it changes everything. There you go. It's a natural progression. Things get better. What do you think is next for fishing technology? Well, they're just going to make this better. I don't know how they can make it better, but they will. Well, I don't catch more fish with forward sonar, but way more fun to watch it all day. There you go. That is a point that I probably would have got to at some point. Whether I catch more, I know they're there. I can see how they're responding. I can see how they're reacting to that. I can see what they don't like. I can see this guy coming up again, so that I can be ready for every one. That's why I don't use bobbers anymore, because my line's right there. I'd never have a fish surprise me unless I'm not paying any attention. And it doesn't matter, you wouldn't know your bobber was down either. But forward-facing sonar is awesome, and I guess that's if you can spend the money to get one, I'd say get one. And how much for the Explorer Mega setup? Okay, check it out online. They've come down a little bit. I know that the Mega Live 2 with the Explorer was $4,200. All right, and I still didn't have the pole that you need, and I didn't have a shuttle for it. So I had all that you had to get separately. I think everyone's missed the ball on that. Hey, for a while, you buy the ice bundle, which they didn't have when I got my Explorer. I think they have one now. Then you get the pole and a shuttle that they make. That should be obviously great. Ooh, someone just got a double. Down here in Iowa, when it's summer, the bass bite good. Okay, I put on your bird. If you put your bird on forward view and turn the range way down, like 10 feet, you won't have the sloped edges on the bottom. You said that before. I don't care that they're there. Okay, and I'm not going to put it on forward facing, but thanks. I think I talked to this guy about it before. This is heck, that's fine. Here's ground zero right here. All right. Now, if you dropped a line down and swung it back and forth, you know, like on a pendulum, or like on a pendulum, you swing back and forth. Well, the pendulum doesn't swing in a straight. The pendulum swings up and down. You like this. This is how a pendulum goes, right? Well, that's what this is. That's just. This is 10 feet away from here, and I could still see everything that comes through here. All right. 99% of the people, me included, don't use a third of what these things can do. There are people that really can figure things out, and that's good. That's fine. But I have this. I didn't even notice it when when he said that as well. This is not. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So there's a little bit of this on both sides. And if I was going to monkey around and push buttons and cuss and swear for 45 minutes to get rid of that, the next time I set it up, it wouldn't need it. It'd be nice and flat. The deeper you are, well, no, I don't think that's right either. With a real hard bottom, you kind of get some of that too. Here comes another fish. This has been fine. 9:45. Good morning from Lake of the Woods. I'm about 50 yards off of the Long Point. One of the Long Point's plowed roads. Look at this guy coming up. Come on. They come up so far and then they quit. I know what you're saying. Well, don't take it away from them. Yeah, I'm going to take it away from them. Because that's what my grandpa told me to do. And his grandpa told him to do. So, how off track have we gotten here? Is there any sneaky fish action in 4 Mile Bay in the winter? Too shallow. I would imagine you get probably pike. Come on, man. Oh, he bit. Just a little bit. Come on. 4 Mile Bay is an awesome place for pike fishing in the spring. like right at ice out. Lake of the Woods has a continuous pike season, right? You can fish them all year long. And 4 Mile Bay out in the lake, in the shallower water in March and April, they get really going. In front of Zipple Bay and inside Zipple Bay is great late season pike action. At War Road, all that shallow water is great for pike. There's some big monster pike here. Oh, my wife watched all your videos. First year fishing Lake of the Woods. We're heading back up for a third time. Wow. In March. Is that when things really start heating up? Well, here's another story. I'll tell you that people probably, other guys wouldn't tell you. Did great so far this year and bagged 25, 26, lost a 30 at the hole. Well, I've lost every fish I miss at the hole is a 30. Now there's big fish, but there's big pike here. Now, for a long time, I didn't fish after probably the end of February or not much into March, because for one thing, the ice was so thick. Jeez, it's when I drill the holes out here, I use my ion auger, and I've also got a Milwaukee drill with a flighting on it that I can drill with. But this was new thick holes yesterday, so I'll use the ion. Well, it took the entire ion auger with a 12-inch extension on it, all right, to get through here. And it's thicker out on limbs by quite a bit than it is here. So suddenly I can't, I'm in the house, so there's a little bit of a drop down there, but ice gets thick, and fishing is supposed to get great, but I tried a couple times. It really didn't get great. But now the last 3 years, since there wasn't a lot of snow, it was easy to get around. And heck, I pulled my portable around with the Ranger, and heck, we did great. Sir, I made you mad on the scope suggestion. You didn't get me mad about the scope, and I appreciate that. But like I said, I don't care about that at all. And I've had this 2 years now, I think, and I've had it on forward facing once. These fish are coming up just to further scramble my concentration. That's all right. We got a big fish during the live, so my work is done. I appreciate all your comments, all right? Springtime 2 years ago, right there, hooked up on a big 45-inch class. Net guy stabbed it off. Well, first of all, you got to have a good net guy. I stabbed off probably a 55-inch sturgeon last summer. Well, you can't get a sturgeon in a net anyway, and so I had to stab off him. I tried to grab him by hand over the side of the boat because no way he was going in the net. That's what happened, you reach down, you try to get your hands in their gills, and you just can't because they tighten them up. So I was flailing over the side, and eventually he swam off. But hey, you catch a big fish, that's when the weird things happen, okay? So you would say that March bite is similar to February. No, March bite is better than February, all right? Because things start going, but you never know when. As soon as it warms up, as soon as the snow starts melting on top of the ice, that's when things get going. We pulled a 45-inch sturgeon through the ice last year. Super fun. Well, if I see a big sturgeon coming through, I move my line out of the way. I don't want to catch another big sturgeon through the ice. But everyone should do it a time or two. But you see where the people have worked for hours and hours and hours to get this poor fish up through a hole and then put them right back down. So that's fun. You want to catch a sturgeon, and catch a sturgeon. Catch 10. But I catch 8 sturgeon a year fishing for walleyes around Long Point. I haven't fished specifically for sturgeon for 15 years, and we catch them every year. There's more sturgeon around. They're in great shape. They're big fun. The size mark on the live scope scares the crap out of you. Yeah, that's right. And I saw one the other day, and I haven't seen one for a few weeks now. Any issue with barotrauma in the deep water? No. There you go. Fishing isn't fun for the fish. With the live sonar, you throw a fish down, you can more times than not see them swim back to the bottom. I don't. Other than these fish, if they swim away, what are you going to do? If more than 90% of the fishing from here at Long Point all the way to Lighthouse Gap is done in water deeper than 25 feet. All right, here it's more than 95%. Everything starts at 30 feet out here and goes to 35 feet. If we were hurting the fish by doing that, they wouldn't let us do it. Just another thing like live sonar just gives people something to talk about in fishing. Now, I've seen them doing some, they've done a lot of work with crappies, it seems, in this. And I would say maybe crappies are bothered by it. And little saugers don't seem to like it much. But the walleyes, they all swim away. Once in a while, a little sauger gets confused and can't get out of the hole, but get them going and you see them swim away. And that's all I can say about that. I'm not going to argue with anybody about it, but if that were the case, they wouldn't let us do it. And I wouldn't. All right? 10 to 10 already. This has gone fast. Of course, caught that big fish. Appreciate you hanging in there. There's still 191 people. I think this is the most I've had on a live before. And these fish, these coming up. And looking. So I appreciate all the questions. I really do. And I hope that I haven't... If you've never watched live sonar, okay, there's 1 billion videos on YouTube. Watch some. It's fun. It's fun to watch. If you didn't have lines in the water, you'd be like the guy that goes deer hunting with a camera. All right, you know what's going on in the forest with this, and that's great. And it's obviously a boon to the fishing, but it's also, you can really know what's going on. You can see if there's fish around. That helps you a lot of times. Smash that like button, people. There you go. Every video you watch, people are going to say, oh, subscribe. And I really don't know what that does, but I know if you subscribe and a new video comes up, if I got a new video or doing a live or something, you get notified right away. So, you might miss one, but if you want to see them, that helps. Doesn't cost anything. That's good. And it must benefit me somehow, probably by just making sure that you get it. But you'll get it. So if you don't want to subscribe, that's fine. But if you don't really care one way or another, takes a second. And hit like and that notification bell. Consider that. Cooker watches your stream in Colorado. Hey, Colorado. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Do you think people push the fish farther into the lake the longer the season goes on? That would make sense to me. Okay? If the fish are looking for someplace quiet, yeah, I think 100% they would do that. And that's a really good question. If you get over Pine Island, where I would say that's the busiest truck traffic spot in the lake, Pine Island, Morris Point, down to Zipple Bay, all right, at Adrian's Road, Wigwam Road, and there's a couple others, but those are the big ones. I know Dynamic Outdoors does it too. They just keep moving out. They're out 20 miles. Some of them are starting to come back in now. That's if you people that are wondering about when fishing gets good again, they're coming back because they've gone as far as they can go, and they're coming back into this fresh water that's been left alone for a while. And they go out a long way. So they're always in fresh water. If fish get pushed away because of the truck traffic and the like, they've solved that problem with hard work. They set their houses up and they just keep plowing. Then a few days later, They go back and they get those houses, move them out another, set them up again. So they're working their asses off all winter, like all these ice road guys do. But if that's true, that fish move out and they get pushed out by the noise and stuff, they're going to be there waiting for them and keeping it going. So that's another good thing that happens here on Lake of the Woods. At Long Point, it's busy here on the weekends. During the week, well, let me go back here. Have you been fishing with Mark this year? Yeah, I fished a lot with Mark earlier. He's got his house set up a mile away from me. He leaves his house, gets in his truck, drives 2 minutes out to his fish house, gets out and fishes. He's not going to run all the way over here to sit and argue with me all morning about stuff. So we haven't for a while, but we will again. Mark is the great fishing partner, as great a fishing partner as you could ever have, and he's awesome. We tried by Twin this year. That's another spot that I don't fish. If you fish out of Dale's, if you fish out of Arneson's, they're over at Twin right away. It takes them a while to get over there now, and I think that they could now. They've got roads close, but that area's been hit pretty hard. I fish Twin in the spring, and I fish it in the fall in a boat, but in the wintertime, no. The ice gets really jagged, and the two bays coming together make it unstable, big piles of ice. So it's a little hard to get over there. On the snowmobile, yeah, you can, and I don't fish with the snowmobile anymore. Out from Zippel 30 feet of water, what's all the jagged bedrock on the depth map? Okay, that I know is not there. It's nothing. Okay, when someone made that map, what do they call it? I think they call it the brush piles or whatever. But on your map, there's big lines like brush piles, but it's not there. It's an anomaly that got through, is it 20 years ago now? After 9/11, this is all right, it's 2001, so that's 24 years ago. They mapped the whole country for GPS mapping. And companies sprang up that did that. After they got done with every road in America, they said, well, we got all this equipment, what are we going to do? Well, let's remap the lakes. So they lined up boats and they remapped Lake of the Woods. They remapped every major lake in Minnesota up to the minute. And they all did a great job. Lake Master did it. Navionics did it. Is that the other one? And I think there's one more. But they all did it. And in one of the companies, when they got it, that appeared on their screen. And they never took it off. And it's not there. Pulled the bridge on Wednesday. Wigwam, oh, okay, here we go. Wigwam pulled the bridge so everyone is back on the south of the heave. Okay, like I said, they're coming back now. They go up 20 miles and turn around and fish the way back in. It's a great bunch of work that they do. They do a super job, and they really try as hard as they can to make sure that, people have a chance to fish the way they want to. Wheelhouses especially, but there's a lot of good outfitters that have houses out there you can drive. We got on snowmobiles, went all the way up to Garden Island and fished like crazy, and about 1.5 miles south of where we were coming back in, we looked and there was a Prius sitting next to a fish house 24 miles out into the lake. So the road is a beautiful road, and you can bring anything out on it you want, but they did that. You can fish anywhere with everything on Lake of the Woods because doggone it, they want you to be able to. Curious about that thing on Navionics. I would say that's what the deal is, okay? Because if you get out there with your boat and go over that, there's nothing there. Are you talking about what I've heard about called the fingers? Yeah, maybe they call it the fingers. I've heard it called the brush pile. The fingers, they're kind of, I thought they were up north of the 9-footer, maybe out by Three Sisters. There was fingers there, but yeah, if it's in the Zippel Bay area, whatever they call it, that's what it was. They were giant brush piles at one point. No. There was just an anomaly in what they did with the mapping. Their equipment told them that was down there. No, it's not down timber. Nothing. There's nothing there. Now, if someone comes along with better information than that, okay. But I have been there. In fact, my mapping doesn't have that on there. I've got the Lake Master. I'm thinking it was Navionics that came out with that, and that's the rest of the mapping on the lake is awesome, and that's the reason there. We got an hour and 5 minutes already. So on the map there where those lines are, just line. People, there's nothing there. But it sure attracts fishermen. People love to go in there and fish, and people catch fish because on Lake of the Woods, wherever you go, you can probably catch fish. Okay, we're going to wrap this up, but let me tell you one story here. We fished on the Warroad side of the lake forever. And one day I decided I was going to go and fish the other side of the lake. So we fished out of the river at a trailer house at Riverbend for a while, all right? It looks like lines of down timber. They fished that area with very little success. I'll come back to this. Should fork over 50K for a Sonar submarine. Yeah, right. Okay. So we went and fished on the river side of the lake. Out of river. Are you gonna come and bite me? Let's have another big fish just to end this. Man, they're here and they're coming, but they're not biting. And it was over there that we didn't just pull spinners. We started using jigs. We were pulling crankbaits a little bit more. So that was great. So then we got into Long Point here and we started jigging almost exclusively. And my dad was up and he was a big spinner puller. He'd love to pull spinners. I said, we're going to go out and we're going to jig. He goes, really? I go, yeah. And you can go anywhere out here in the get out 30 feet of water plus anywhere and you can stop and you catch fish. He says, anywhere. And I said, yeah. And so I was going to, let's go. So I've got an icon out there 5 miles. So we're going out and he said, well, stop here. Stop here. Let's catch it. So we probably can, but I'm heading for my mark. There's nothing out there that's different at all. It's just, I've fished there before and you magnetized to those things. We went out, and it doesn't always happen, but we went over, out, set up, jigged over, boom, 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 boom. Geez, we got our fish, and they're nice and hardly any time at all. So the fish on Lake of the Woods, we get out deep, and this is why everyone's fishing deep. There are fish all over out here in the deep water. On the Warroad side of the lake, the water's not that deep, so you don't have that mud. Big areas of mud that you have there, but they pull spinners over there. They do great. That's world-class fishing out of Warroad. All right. How does the fishing hold up in March? It holds up great in March. It gets better in March. Better yet in April. And it's warmer. It's nicer to get around. Heading to Morris next week. Any value in a Lake Master chip for that area? If I get up to Lems, there's areas that I want to fish on Lems, and I want to fish my hot spot, which I've got marked, but I don't really zero in on contours or this or that much. But if you are going fishing on Lake of the Woods, yeah, have some mapping available. The mapping that comes in your Helix, the mapping that comes in your Explorer, it's fine. It's pretty basic, but it's fun. I have a Garmin unit with mapping. Curious if Lake Master will get us better resolution on structure. Well, there you go. Ford or Chevrolet. What are you doing? Lake Master is awesome. I think they're great. I can't say they're the best in the business, but they're as good as anything in the business. And I would think that the other mapping companies are about the same. I love my Lake Master. Well, let's see. Since we can see this, look at how nice this works here. Here's my hot spot. Let me go out just a little bit more. There's South Long Point Reef. There's the nearest structure, and that's heck a quarter to a half mile away from me. But Long Point Resort is right here, and I can go out further. A little bit more yet. One more. Come on, man. All right, there's Lems Reef right there. Here's me. There's shore. So it's a long way out. I'm really, really close to shore, actually, here. But these maps are awesome. The contours are great. The depth things are fine. But if you're going to come on, and this is on my depth finder. I usually don't even use this for that. It took me a while, but I got to. Well, I'll tell you what. If I don't catch this fish here, we're going to wrap it up. Come on up, buddy. And these aren't real small fish. All right, well, he's going to keep coming by. Like and subscribe, please, here. My Helix has an old Lake Master chip that doesn't cover lake. Well, all right. Another topic. Lake Master had a Woods rainy chip that did Rainy Lake, Rainy River, Lake of the Woods. At first, it was just the U.S. side, okay? Second of all, they've got permission to do all of Canada, so that's, I think, on the new ones, Canada's on there too. But they did have a separate chip for Lake of the Woods, Rainy River, and Rainy Lake. They did that at first. I think they're all together now. They just increased the price if you'd bought them all anyway. Appreciate the live and answering questions. Need more fishing live streams. Well, it's just a little bit of a hassle to get it going. I'm in constant danger of losing another phone down the hole, but I think I've done it. So anyway, appreciate you all being here, and we'll get some more in here. I catch one big fish and it just supercharges you again. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. All right, thanks for being here. We're going to wrap this one up. Appreciate it. So long, everybody. Stay in touch on the NCOR Facebook page on Facebook, and we'll keep you updated as we can. Thank you. Bye-bye.